her armpits, so is it because it's hotter because our armpits are down?
Yep.
That's nothing.
And it's
No,
not.
you're always gonna be hotter where you have skin overlapping skin. So
Under
if you-
boobs or white hot.
Under your boobs
right?
are gonna
You
be
can
hot.
see it. Yeah.
Your armpits are gonna be hot. Your neck, like right here, is gonna be hot because you got all your carotid arteries and stuff going through here. You know, like I was saying, this one, armpits are hotter, under the breast is hot.
Right, yeah.
Okay? Now, this is more of a typical finding, okay? This person came in, and this is again, 9 years ago, found something going on right here. It was at that point something we called questionable. Didn't know what was going on yet. We said, let's check you back in 3 months, okay? This is the importance of a follow-up visit.
Right.
90+% of the time, people come back in 3 months, and it's gonna be the exact same temperature or very, very close. A little hotter, a little colder, but within, you know, a couple hundredths of a degree. This one came back, you know, 4 months later, almost about 4 months later, and it increased 0.4 of a degree. Okay? Which means that it's increasing the blood supply to that area.
Oh,
Okay? We're always comparing the right side versus the left side, because the left side, the opposite side is your control, if you will. Okay? So it doesn't matter if the temperature of the room was 2 degrees hotter. Both sides are going to be 2 degrees hotter, but the activity is what's going to be the difference there.
oh, wow.
Okay? So this one came back, and that's when we referred for an ultrasound at that point. Okay? Again, at that point, the ultrasound still didn't find anything. We went through some, you know, good healthy lifestyle changes with her, and she did great.
What about that bump up by her sternum to her left, your right?
Yep.
The one that's reddish?
That is, I don't know, it's possibly is just a, like an inflamed sternum. It could be a pimple.
Oh, okay.
Could be a lot of different possibilities. Okay?
It is May.
All right. Some other case studies. Now this one's pretty obvious. You can see what the cancer looks like on a thermography. Okay, you can see what it looks like in person. And then you can see what it looks like on a mammography. Okay? Now, I don't have to have fancy tools for this one to figure out that that's probably cancer. Okay? But you can see how they all three present each self. Okay, now, if this was really dense breast tissue, the breast tissue is going to be white like this. Okay? See how it's harder to see that tumor in this tissue on that side? Okay? Now, this is probably just 2 different images. I don't know the specifics of the case, but this one did a better job because they did a better job with the x-ray. Okay? But if this was truly dense breast tissue, this is what the entire image would look like, and it would be hard to tell whether it's a cancer or not. Even as big as that cancer is, I mean, that thing's probably, oh boy, 2-3 inches across, I would guess. That's late stage right there. That's stage, at least stage 3, if not stage 4. Okay. This one's not quite so easy. Okay? To the naked eye, you can't see anything. We just drew on there because we knew where it was, and drew here. You can see it on the mammogram here, and then you can see the thermogram. Okay, where there's increased heat there. And then this one. This one, what is that? Okay, it looks like just a big old lump. It's the same density as the tissue is.
Right.
But look how big the tumor was. It's, you know, that is how big that tumor was that they took out. So basically the entire breast is inflamed. But we found that on thermography. All right, let's
Spinal cord?
close. This is, we're gonna get off of breast for a second, obviously. Anybody have an idea what this might be?
Hard.
No, it is their back.
It is their back.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a melanoma?
Bingo.
Yeah.
And this person came
That
in.
makes sense, yeah.
She was probably 60,
Ooh,
and
white hot.
she was just gonna get a breast scan, and her daughter says, why don't you get a torso? Why don't you just, you know, you're in the sun a lot, why don't you get at least a torso done, mom, or a full body? And she get a torso, and we can see this. Now, looking at her back, you couldn't tell if it was your back or my back or anybody else's. You couldn't see anything, okay? But outside of the breast, we don't want this difference to be more than 1 degree, and we're almost 3.5 degrees between here and here. That's a lot. This person's obviously is no longer with us either. It was stage 4 melanoma, and she was gone soon after that.
And you couldn't see it?
Wow.
No. Yeah, I mean, you could not see it to look at it.
Wow.
And this gentleman had a lymphoma underneath his chin here.
Mm.
Okay. And then this poor gentleman had a squamous cell carcinoma in his right neck due to radiation treatment for lymphoma on the opposite side.
Oh.
Okay. So this guy just couldn't catch a break. So he had lymphoma over here. They did a radiation treatment, got the squamous cell carcinoma on this side.
Right,
Same guy decided he wasn't going to go through the chemo and the radiation again. He was going to do his own thing. I don't know exactly what he did. Again, not my patient, but they started doing just monitoring it. You can kind of see how it's dissipating here. Okay. Unfortunately, it just didn't dissipate enough. I know that it wasn't long after that last picture that he was gone, because this next picture is actually the same guy.
Oh my God.
And one of the things that we take every time we do a torso or we do a full body is we take measurements above the eyes here in the supraorbital fossa where the carotid arteries fill. So theoretically, if both my carotid arteries are working equally, they're going to fill the fossa equally, which means those temperatures should be about the same. Okay? Obviously, you can see this area right here is very, very cold. What happened was the cancer that was on this side was eating away the carotid artery.
Oh, wow.
So that's why he was so close. I mean, this was like the day before he died.
Oh wow.
So he just had no blood supply at all to the right carotid artery.
Wow.
Okay? But this shows obviously a very exaggerated view. Usually they're pretty close, but we can kind of monitor your carotid arteries that way as well, and check for the possibility of a clogged carotid or something like that. Excuse me. Any questions for me? We're just about done. All right. So there's over 20,000 cases of cancer every year for women under the age of 40. Young women that get breast cancer are less likely to survive.
Because.
Because why?
So I'm asking you. I said I'm asking you.
I'm asking you.
No. I give you the question. You keep
See if you can come up with the answer. I know the answer.
Because it's below the time for mammography and when they're checking for it?
Exactly. There's no screening for that age group.
I was guessing lifestyle,
Yeah.
obviously.
That's where I was gonna go.
Yeah.
No, it's just there's no screening. So by the time they catch it, it's the size of a silver dollar as opposed to the size of a dime. So it's in stage 3 or stage 4 by the time they catch it, as opposed to stage 1 or stage 2. Or if they happen to get thermography, get to stage 1 or stage 0, where we can actually do something about it. Okay. If you're over 20, you positively need a thermogram. Everybody agrees that early detection saves lives, but even earlier detection is going to save way more lives. And it's going to save more lives much easier than late detection, high intervention things. Yes?
Now, when a young girl starts to go to the gynecologist and have those annual exams, is this a good time to establish a baseline for, like at what age do you enter?
Yep.
the
I recommend at age 20 you get your baseline.
Uh-huh.
And at that time, a lot of times we may only recommend on a couple year basis as opposed to every year. But it still doesn't hurt to get it every year at that point. And then, as we work our way up. So that's kind of how I recommend it. Because at 20 you can get, your odds are less to get cancer at that point than they are when you're 50 or 60 or 70. But the good thing about thermography is there is zero radiation. There is no side effect. The only side effect is the day to come in here and get your pictures taken and any money you spend on it. That's your only side effect.
I do have a question. Is cancer the only thing that thermography is great at
It is not.
identifying?
No.
Okay.
Just like we talked about, we looked for the guy that had carotid artery. We were looking for cerebrovascular changes. Okay, is his carotid artery blocked? Okay, so in you and me, that might be a 4 or 5/10 of a degree difference, and that might say that, hey, you might have a blockage in there. Let's go get your arteries checked by, get an ultrasound of the arteries or something like that. We look for vascular changes. We look for musculoskeletal things, okay, joints, muscles, all that kind of thing. We're looking for how the body is functioning from an overall standpoint. We use it in chiropractic, okay, how is the body changing to the adjustment? Is the body getting better? Is it getting worse? Is it getting more uniform? So there's all kinds of different ways that we can use it.
What about digestive issues and lymphatic flow?
Lymphatic flow is a big one, okay? Lymphatic flow, we get a lot of lymphatic congestion in here, okay? And I think we saw some on yours, if I don't
Yeah,
don't
because
remember.
that was why I wanted to get the full body.
So,
Because I know how many lymph nodes I have,
Yep.
I know where I feel like I have some stuck energy there, or
Yep.
things that are,
so yeah, you can definitely see some lymphatic changes, and when you get the lymphatic congestion in different areas, digestive, you can see things like, inflammation in the bowels, you can see inflammation in the liver, you can see those types of things. So, absolutely. So it is for obviously more than just breast. It's obviously for more than just cancer.
yeah.
Unfortunately, because I don't have 4 hours of talk, you guys would be bored to death. You don't
No,
want me to
I
talk.
would
No,
not be
we
bored
would
to
not.
death.
So,
This is the group that would love
Understand
it.
your
I
audience.
understand, exactly. No.
I would be like this
You'd be on top
for
of it.
4 hours.
Anyhow, that is why we focus on the breast tissue and kind of hit on some other stuff right now. Most of the time when I do this talk, it's for people that aren't as well versed as you guys are. So that's kind of why it is as high level or as it is. So
Let's do something in October for breast cancer
breast
awareness.
cancer awareness, absolutely.
Yes.
Okay,
This is
let's
one of
put
my
that out
favorite
there.
things.
I love her.
Christina Northrup.
Yes.
Okay, everybody's heard of her. No one ever admits to watching Oprah. I've been doing this for 10 years and no one ever says, hey, I watch Oprah, because that's where she kind of gained her fame, was on
Right.
Oprah. Okay? But this is her quote and I loved it, so I wrote it down and put it up here. Every year when Breast Cancer Awareness Month or October, we'll do this thing in October, comes around, she's saddened and surprised that thermography hasn't become more popular. Part of that is her mindset. She'd rather focus on breast health and ways to prevent breast cancer at the cellular level, rather than emphasizing on testing and retesting until finally you find something to poke, prod, cut, or radiate. That's why she calls October Breast Health Awareness Month, not Breast Cancer Awareness Month. She understands mammography has been the gold standard for years. Doctors are very familiar with that test, and many believe that a mammogram is the best test for detecting breast cancer early, but it is not. Studies show that the thermogram identifies precancerous or cancerous cells earlier, produces clear results, which cuts down on additional testing and doesn't hurt the body. And isn't that what women really want?
Yes.
So that's kind of shows things how it is, and I'm like, you know what, that makes sense. Everybody agrees with that statement. So last thing is, what does it cost? Because everybody wants to know that too. If we do a breast exam, it's $249. We do the female profile or male profile, either one, which is your head and neck, breast, and back. So it's basically your torso. And then we do the full body, which is $449, which is everything from the bottom of your toes to the top of your head and everywhere in between. Just ask Joni.
Just ask me.
Okay.
So a full body includes all of the above?
Yes.
Okay, all right, so.
Full body is everything. The full body is like 30 pictures.
It's a lot.
Now,
And
is
you get
there,
about a 10-page report.
okay, and
Yeah.
is there a difference, I know in mammography, there's a difference between a general annual mammography and a diagnostic. Is there a difference in that, if there's a known entity?
We do, most of what this is a screen. Okay, we don't do a diagnostic in any situation. Okay, and I have a hard time with mammography being called diagnostic because it's not. Okay, there is no
It's
diagnostic,
more
huh?
risk. I mean, it
Well,
creates more risk than
There
it
is
does.
no,
You can't
diagnose off of.
Yeah.
Right.
So a diagnostic mammogram is more
Pinpointed.
more pinpointed,
Uh-huh.
but it's still not diagnostic.
Right.
So I guess I could call this a diagnostic thermography. They could call it a diagnostic mammogram
Sure.
because if
Right,
I look at a specific spot, but just understand that there is no diagnosis from either a mammogram or a thermogram.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can, like, say for example, that you're doing a full body and you say, you know what, I got this spot right here on my arm and I want you to look at that. You know, we might take an extra picture or two of that area specifically and point out that to the interpreting doctor that, hey, patient was concerned about some tissue on her arm or whatever, and we can do it that way, and that's just be included with it, okay? It is not covered by insurance,
That's my next
but
question.
you can use HSA accounts and you can use FlexPay.
Which is nice.
All right, so if you schedule an appointment tonight, you get 10% off. So it just brings prices down a little bit. Stephanie will be here when we get done to take any appointments that you want. You know, obviously you get the discount, you do have to schedule tonight, but she can take care of that. I have one more thing. This is, we need your help. Okay? We are very mobile, we go everywhere. Help us set up an event like this, okay?
Awesome.
With anybody. We give you a $50 credit on any future exam. Now, if you're a practitioner and you want me to come into your office and do this on your patients, we'll give you a $50 credit on any exam that you want to do. Okay, so if you schedule 3 or 4 people, you know, obviously with you, we can come in there, obviously we'll work that out, but because we're so close. But, so on any future exams, you'll have a $50 credit. And you know what, you set up a schedule like a thing like this, you get 10 people, you have $500 credit, you can use it as you want to, or towards yourself, towards anybody else. Okay? Where do we do them? Anywhere. I've done these at churches, I've done them at Lions clubs, junior women, card clubs. Any club you can think of, I've probably done this talk at. Okay?
Oh, I had a specific question, and because I know a group of people that would have interest in this, in inflammatory breast cancer, is that how
Yep.
you say it? Does it detect that, and does it detect it earlier than?
Yes.
Okay, because I know that's
Because inflammatory
I
breast
got
cancer
one.
is very hot,
yeah,
and it's also it's not a density per se.
right,
So inflammatory breast cancer is very hard to find on mammograms,
right.
but it's easier to find on thermography.
Can you find early stages of it, or?
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Much earlier than you can on a mammogram because it's just not as, you know, you don't have the density to find on a mammogram.
Right,
So, okay.
interesting,
Um,
yeah. I got
where else?
So we're gonna schedule one at Laura's house tonight.
Yes.
We're doing this like women's circle, women's club, like for women who wanna talk about health stuff. And we'll just do that tonight.
Yeah.
We'll just do it.
Perfect.
Just don't care my
Just get it
schedule, we'll
done?
do it. Yeah.
Um,
Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
we're gonna do it.
We're using your house.
Who do you bring in? You bring in your friends, you bring in your relatives, you bring in your coworkers. Okay, I've done these in rooms just like this at the bank down the street. I've done them at the, you know, Iowa Mutual. So all those types of places. A lot of those bigger companies have a room like this. It works out great. If you have a living room and a TV that I hook a HDMI cable up to, we have it set up. Okay, it doesn't take long. A little computer and an HDMI cord, we're good to go. Bars. I've done it at Hall of Fames in Georgia.
Oh my
town. Huh?
Bar. I said, oh my gosh, bars.
But I did one at, is
You
it
can watch the alcohol in live time
Yes.
permeate the liver.
Caddy's in?
Caddy's in Bettendorf?
Bettendorf, right by like
Right by
Memphis
your
Farm.
house.
That's right by where I live.
I did one there one day.
Oh my gosh,
So-
it's so funny.
So I'm telling you, I've done it because they have a little room
Uh-huh.
and a lady wanted to get her $50 credit. So, and she ended up getting like 150, I think.
Do you
at
do
that
the
point.
presentation or do you do the actual scanning?
I do the presentation.
Okay.
And then-
Okay, I'm not gonna do the
I
scanning
do
in
the
the bars.
scans. But you can do the scans as part of the event or no?
Can we do the scans live, like there?
Where they,
You,
The scans are done.
the only way that you can do the scans there
Okay.
is if you know you're gonna do them.
Okay.
And you do all of the prep first.
Yeah, okay, yes, there's prep. There is no,
It's not bad.
it's not bad. You just don't want to shave your legs and stuff right away. You
That
know,
day.
that day,
Yeah.
or
Right
like
now,
within
the
20.
biggest
I think I
one
did
is
48
sun.
hours. Yeah, no sun, no tanning, no like sprays like with chemicals,
No
no perfumes.
no body
Yeah.
lotions, no deodorant.
So
That's
most
right.
people
That's
don't
right.
want to do it at the end of the day because they've had all these other things. You don't want to kind of go into it cold and, oh, I'm going to do one today.
That's
It doesn't work very well. So that's the biggest problem. Now, we have done a party where we've had 3 or 4 women that said, you know what, we're going to have a party, and I'm going to mention that here shortly, where they want to get scanned together. And they all sit in the room and they acclimate together. And we,
Like a naked party.
like a naked party. And when you do that, they typically only do breast because
Right.
full body is a little bit
We'll
much to
send
do
Dom and
there.
Kyle out to
Yeah,
do
they
it.
can go. As we all sit there and acclimate like this with our shirts on.
Exactly,
really
because
what
you
it
gotta acclimate like
You
this.
have to, so your armpits don't.
And that is the most, and I will tell you, that is the most difficult, not the most difficult, but the most uncomfortable part of the scan, is to sit and acclimate for 15 minutes while you're waiting, because you're in a room by yourself and you have, if you're doing a breast scan, you just don't have a shirt on. If you're doing a full body, you have no clothes on at all.
You're like this.
And I'm
And you
gonna tell
kinda-
you, don't touch yourself, don't scratch yourself, don't look at your phone, you don't need that extra heat.
Yeah,
And
and as soon as you say don't scratch yourself, then everything itches.
Oh,
Which is part of
yeah,
it.
sure.
Oh, all right. Whoops,
Your brain doesn't.
my thing. Anyhow, we also do a live, and that was my next slide, but it didn't show up, so. Thank you very much for coming. I will be here for any questions that anybody, well, first of all, I can ask your questions now. But if anybody has personal questions they want to ask, because a lot of times people don't want to ask them in front of people, and that's fine too. I'll be here for a while. Anybody wants to talk to Stephanie about scheduling anything, an event, a scan, or whatever, we're here to do that as well.
Awesome.
You want to give the office contact information for the video for anyone who watches this online?
Oh, absolutely. Give us a call, and what's your phone number? You give us a call.
Area code 321-230-8694. Go to our Facebook page at Breast Thermography of Iowa, and we have online scheduling available as well.
Awesome.